Hello, I want to tell you about a near-death experience I had on January 25th, 2025. Um, I was sleeping in our guest bedroom because I snore sometimes. And I woke up and became aware. I don't say I woke up, but I became aware of someone in bed with me. And I turned my head and looked. There was a man laying in bed with me. Now, when I say laying in bed, he was horizontal like I was, but it wasn't like he was laying there. Like you feel when somebody's in bed with you, right? The bed moves, the pillows, sheets. There was none of that. He was just horizontal, like at the same level as me, and he had golden hair, and his hair just sticks out to me for some reason in my memory. It was golden and it was kind of spiky, like someone puts a lot of gel in their hair, and wasn't long. It was maybe like 4 inches, and he had light colored skin, I guess you would call it. His face, I wouldn't even call it skin, just the light from his face, right? It was light colored. It didn't look like skin like we have, and he had white clothes on, but they weren't a white like we know. They emitted white. They glowed white, and he had like an aura about him, but not like a really bright. It was there. You knew it was there. And I start freaking out. I'm like, "Who are you, and what are you doing in my bed?" And he didn't say anything. I said, "Get out of my bed." He didn't say anything, and I was just about to put my hands on him, and he said, "It's time." And when he said it's time, I knew what he meant. It meant it's time for me to go home to God, to Jesus. And I said, "No, I'm not ready yet." And then he left. And then I don't know how much time passed, but I start to see above my head on the ceiling, like directly above my head, it started to glow gold, this golden color. And it got brighter and brighter, and the whole ceiling starting to turn gold. And then the center of it starts to turn white, and it gets brighter and brighter, but I can't look into it. It's straight above my head, and as I lean back, I can't lean back far enough to see into it. It was like I was being prohibited from looking into it. And now I know I'm in my bedroom, but I'm not in my bedroom. And now I'm looking down on myself, like I'm 50 feet above myself, right? And I see myself in this great big vast area. It's all dark. There's nothing around me. It's just like emptiness. Like I couldn't even see a floor. It was just emptiness, but I could see myself, right? And I said, "I need to live a little longer. Let me live at least 1 minute longer than Teresa." Teresa's my wife. I said, "If I go before her, she will suffer greatly." And God, because I like this light. I mean, I know it's heaven, right? I know it's heaven opening up, and it's him looking at me from heaven or whatever. But I know that white area is heaven that it opened up. And God didn't say anything. Just as soon as I said, or she will suffer greatly, everything closed up. The room got dark. Everything went away. It went back to normal, and then I'm in my bed. I don't know. It was just, that was it, right? As soon as I said that, it's like he said, "Okay, I'll give you that extra time," and everything ended. And I didn't have any pain in my chest, like no headache, so. I mean, it isn't like I was having a heart attack or anything. I don't know. Maybe I was going to have a heart attack, and he stopped it and reversed it. Maybe I had a heart attack and he reversed it. I don't know. That's all I know is, that's what happened. And I made it through this time. This is like my 8th time trying to record this because I can never get through without either getting emotional or forgetting something. But when I came to, it was back in my bedroom and everything. I was very emotional. I mean, there was tears running down my face, and this is probably the first time I've spoken about it, and I had to stop because I was gonna get emotional. So that's it. That was my NDE. It was, I don't want to say, it wasn't this big elaborate experience like some people have, but it was mine, and it was real. And I guess while I got you here, I'll tell you about some other experiences that I had with Jesus and God, and a divine intervention that happened when I was young. When I was a teenager, maybe 18, 17, grew up in Michigan, and it was the winter, and I was driving my 1978 Pontiac Sunbird, and I had 3 friends with me in the car. The road was icy and it was dark, and none of them seen this happen. They were like looking at each other, talking, like teenagers do, just not paying attention to the surroundings. And I hit an ice patch, and the car was going straight into a pickup truck. I mean, we were going to hit dead on. There was no missing, right? And the headlights from the truck, each headlight went right past me. One headlight went on this side, one headlight went on this side. The car literally went in between the headlights of that truck. We passed right through that truck. And I'm freaking out, and I'm like, did you see that? Did you see that? And they didn't see it. They weren't paying attention. But I seen it. That was definitely divine intervention at that point. There's no way we missed that truck. No way. And another time when I was in the Marine Corps, my kids were young, and I had a dream, and I'm in a car driving, and Jesus pulls up alongside of me in a semi-truck, in a tractor trailer. And he rolls down his window. He tells me to roll down my window, I roll down my window, he rolls down his. And there are demons crawling all over the top of the truck, and they kind of look like skeletons. And he says, follow me. And he reaches up with one hand, takes one finger and touches a demon, and it just deflates and just falls off the truck dead, right? And then he puts it in gear and he goes. He drives a little ways and he makes a left-hand turn. And now I'm following Jesus in my car, but now I'm not in the car. I'm looking down on the car, right from, who knows how, just from a distance. And I watch Jesus turn left, and I don't turn left. I keep going straight. And I'm yelling at myself, follow Jesus, you idiot, turn. I didn't turn. I kept going straight. So I don't know what I was doing at that point in my life that I was veering away from God, but Jesus was trying to tell me that I was veering away from God. And there was another time we were going to go on like a 15-hour road trip to Connecticut to see my wife's brother. And that night I prayed and asked Jesus to be with us, to watch us, give us a safe trip there and back. And I had a dream, and in the dream I'm driving, and Jesus is in the passenger seat. Apparently Jesus and I have a thing with cars. Jesus is in the passenger seat, right? And I know something's behind me, and it's dark and it's evil. And I look in the rearview mirror, and I see a silhouette of a being, and it is as black can be. And I knew it was Satan. And Jesus says to me, don't look at him. Don't ever look at him. And I quickly snapped my head forward, and that was it. I woke up. So there was that. That was another warning from Jesus. And the trip we made it there and back safe, so that was good. And then the most recent time before the near-death experience. I was deer hunting, and it was bow season. I was bow hunting in a tree, and I had some corn on the ground. I don't know, maybe at like 30 yards. And deer come out, and they're eating corn, and pretty soon squirrels come out, and groundhogs come out, and birds come out. It was weird. I'd never had all these animals like come in at once like this. A groundhog even. I've never had a groundhog come in with deer and squirrels or whatever. But they're all in there eating, and then all of a sudden I feel this warmth come over me. It starts at my head and just kind of slowly went down my body. And you could feel the warmth and the lovingness of God's presence. And it was so overwhelming that I started to cry in the tree. It just you just can't describe it. It was such an overwhelming love and feeling. And I was there for, a few moments, just enough to let me know he was there and he was watching over me, and then he left. And so that was that, So for those of you that question God and if Jesus is real, he is. I've experienced him. He's obviously came into my life multiple times, and God as well. And I encourage you to search him and know him. So one thing to think about, this thought is, right now you're here on earth. You are either the closest you will be to heaven or the closest you'll ever be to hell. And what I mean by that is, if you know Jesus and he's your Savior, this is the closest you'll ever be to hell. If you don't know him, this is the closest you'll ever be to heaven. So stop and think about that. Anyways, I hope this helps some people to find God and find Jesus. Have a blessed day.